Okay, so we've established that this is going to be something a little bit different. We did binary nomenclature. Binary nomenclature was made of two elements, right? Sodium and chlorine, two different elements, correct? And where do you find those elements? On the periodic table, okay? This is called ternary nomenclature. When you hear the word ternary, what number do you think of?
3.
3, that's right. You think of 3. So ternary nomenclature is made of 3 plus elements. Okay? Do you notice I don't like straight lines? Have you noticed that?
Yes.
I'm not a straight line kind of guy, you know? Don't like straight lines. I hate writing on lined paper, you know? Yeah. I'm not neat necessarily, but I don't like straight lines. Okay, so what is ternary nomenclature? I want to move the card over just for a second to give me room to write on at least one side of the okay, I think that is going to work like that. Let me put it down a little bit. Okay, how's that? I can write underneath, right? I got enough room there now? Okay, so a polyatomic ion, now there's going to be, this is going to be ternary nomenclature part 2. How do you say that in French? Part 2? Parte 2? What is it? Oh my God, he spoke French. I admire French. It's the most beautiful language. I can't speak it. You know, last time I spoke French, I was taken away in an ambulance because my throat. It's amazing how you do that. It's amazing, amazing sounds. It's one of the most amazing, beautiful languages. French, amazing. Okay. There's also 2 videos on polyatomic ions. And this is about polyatomic ions. A polyatomic ion is an ion made of many atoms. Poly, many atoms. For instance, chlorate. Chlorate is made of chlorine and oxygen. Yes? But this is what's significant. That has a -1 charge. That whole particle has a -1 charge. So chlorine, and then there are 3 oxygens, 4 atoms. And they're like a rock. It's one particle. It's not separate particles. They're not separate ions. The chlorine and the 3 oxygen together is a -1 charge. So if I have sodium, what's sodium? Na+1, right? And chlorate is ClO3 -1. So how many of each do you need, Alyssa? 1, right? Gotcha. Right? You get it? You with me?
Yeah.
Stay with me. Stay with me. Another 10 minutes and we're done. Long weekend. Yeah. So if you only need 1 of each, wouldn't it be just Na and then ClO3? Isn't that true, Greta? Does that make sense? Is that reasonable? I'm not asking you to be able to do this yet. I'm simply asking you questions. And is it reasonable that I say what I say? So you have Na is +1, ClO3 is -1. Is it reasonable that the answer would be NaClO3. Make sense? Is that okay?
Yes.
Is that okay? Yes? Ternary nomenclature. 3 of them. 3 or more, 3 plus. I could have 4 elements. Okay? I could have 4 elements. So, how do you name this? How do you name binary nomenclature? The name of the positive ion, sodium, and the name of the negative ion, let's say it's chlorine, it would be sodium chloride, right? But how do you name ternary compounds? Well, you say the name of the positive component and the name of the negative component. No IDE. You get that? So what's the name of this?
Sodium chloride.
Sodium chlorate. Sodium chlorate. You see that? See that? So you'd say A would be Na plus 1, ClO3 minus 1, NaClO3, sodium chlorate. Easy? You get it? Yes or no? Yes? William?
Is it supposed to be the second one? Because sodium is Na and then...
Na, yes, sorry, yes, thank you. Thank you, William. Thank you. William, I'll tell you, William, very observant young man. So that's what I was doing here, right? You get it? Yes? Let's do this one here. What would that be? Well, ammonium, let me make sure I'm on the thing. Yes, Laura.
Would chlorate always be chlorine and oxygen?
Yeah, chlorate is ClO3 negative 1 charge, always. Always. Tomorrow, same. ClO3 negative 1 charge is chlorate. Always. Okay? Yes? Okay. This, shall I write the formulas here? This is NH4 plus 1 charge. That's ammonium. Okay? That's sodium, magnesium, aluminum. You know how to do those, right? Right? This is chlorate. Chlorate, as you know, Laura, is ClO3 negative 1 charge, right? Anybody know what carbonate is? How many people have ever heard the word carbonate? Sodium bicarbonate, baking soda, right? Does anybody know what carbonate is? Carbonate is a polyatomic ion. What do you think's in carbonate? Carbon, yeah. Carbon and, yeah. Many polyatomic ions are 2 nonmetals. Phosphorus, sulfur, nitrogen, and oxygen. So it's usually a nonmetal and oxygen, usually a polyatomic ion. Not always, but often. Those are the ions. Yes? Now, will you ever have to memorize a polyatomic ion? Never. I give them to you. However, there are 2 videos that I want you to look at that are going to be on the 7th grade site, and that is Polyatomic Ion Part 1 and Polyatomic Ion Part 2. Kind of explains how you can come up with a lot of the polyatomic ions. You don't have to memorize them. You can kind of derive them. Yes? Makes a lot of sense. So this is what I want you to do for homework. I want you to do this chart. A, B, and C, just like the others, right? So what would part B? Let's do some part B's, right? Yes, part B. What would part B be for this? What would the name of that be?
Magnesium.
Magnesium sulfate, right? Right? Has anybody ever heard of Epsom salts? Yes? It's Epsom salts. Magnesium sulfate. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah? How about aluminum carbonate? How would you do that? Do that yourself. See if you can come up with the formula. You know the name is going to be aluminum carbonate, but what's the formula going to be? How do you indicate the presence of more than one polyatomic ion? What do you use, do you think? Brackets or something? Or use parentheses. So aluminum carbonate, remember 3 and 2, think 6. So aluminum 2 times 3 is 6, right? And then carbonate. The only time you use parentheses in nomenclature is when you're indicating the presence of more than one polyatomic ion. Do you get that? Here, you only have one polyatomic ion. Do you need parentheses? No, they would be incorrect. Here you need them because because that whole particle of carbonate, the whole particle of carbonate is -2. And it acts like an individual particle. Clear? All right, now, homework. You have to do this, correct? Ternary. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 16, 1 to 16, correct? Yes? So we're going to number these. Number these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, okay. And then you do the binary 1 to 42, correct? Yes? That was actually due today, but you got lucky if you didn't bring it. What's the other homework? What other homework do you have that you have to hand in, that I have to check? Is that it? Wasn't there some, yes?
Where do we find the 1 through 42?
I had that on the board last time, didn't I?
No.
Maybe I didn't. It's on the web. It's on the web.
On your website?
Yes, it's called binary, I don't know, part 3 or something like that. Binary part 4. Is it part 3? Thank you. Yes? Yes? Yes?
Are you going to collect the quizzes or everything?
I'm going to collect the quizzes. Actually, you should have already passed those forward because these guys alphabetized them. So if you didn't pass the quiz forward, make sure you do so. Okay? Yes, Laura. Victoria.
For the annual code, is there space between...
No spaces ever.
Okay.
It's going to be 92FIWJ.
Only that nonsense.
That's it. That's all you put in. Okay? So is that all the homework that you did for me? Are you sure?
Yeah.
I checked the others? Oh, I did? I did? Okay, good. So now, there's a third assignment. Okay? The third assignment. A lot of homework this weekend. Yes? I have another ternary table. It's called Ternary Nomenclature Part 1, and there's a table on there. Clear? So you have one binary table, 1 to 42, correct? Did you do that already for homework?
No.
You did it already? Didn't you bring that in? You did, right? How many people are with me here? Didn't you do binary 1 to 42 for today? Yes, okay, so you don't have to do that. So you already did it. If you didn't do it, make sure you do it. So then you have 2 ternary tables, right? This is ternary table 2. This is going to be ternary nomenclature part 2. And then ternary table part 1. Clear? You understand? Yes?
Yeah.
Excellent. We are off. No quiz on Monday. Clear? Check homework. If you have any questions with the homework, But make sure you do as much as you can. If you can't do it, then we'll come in, we'll do it together. Clear? We're off.